Okay, folks, here we are again. So, a couple things. I need to do this. This is exactly what I should be doing. So, I need to start. We're not playing for a couple hours, but I need to put all this stuff together to take over there. I don't want to forget something. So, let's get this the hell out of the way here. Let's put this over here. So I need to take the vehicles with me, figure out what vehicles are coming with me for this prep game. Got the game mat, all that stuff on there for that. And I'm not taking every vehicle with me. I'm only going to take the vehicles that are 27-point vehicles, which is a lot of them. We've got the cars here for them. Need to cut those out and only take the ones that actually go with the vehicles. And we need to get rid of this mouse because the computer's not plugged in here. This is usually where the mouse hangs out. Okay, so we've got a few things to do, and I got a couple notes here that I can stuff to work on when I get back, because we're supposedly going to have another game. The game we're supposed to have is next week. This is just kind of a surprise. I'm available to play on Saturday, and I'm like, all right, well. The wife is supposed to be out of town, or the plans changed, but so be it. So I'm going to bring, right now, good morning, Ben. I'm going to bring the cars in this. This is something relatively safe. They should all fit in here. And I don't have a dedicated thing I've bought for the cars yet. I really don't want to get in the habit of traveling with them, but I'm not ready to do games here. So... yeah, because if I don't travel with them, I don't have to do all this. But I took these to the game show and they work pretty well. So one of the first things I'm going to do is, before I forget, and I could totally see forgetting this, is I'm going to take the hot glue gun with me, because that's my repair thing. If something were to happen, hot glue gun it. Okay. All right, so first of all, let's figure out what vehicles are coming with us. Well, we've got cards for all of them, regardless of whether or not they're in the point zone. Let's get us, one of these scissors sucks and the other one's all right. It's about to find out which one's which. I think this one's okay. All right, so we got Leadfoot. Leadfoot here, it's a 27-point vehicle. And then we'll wrap these guys up as they go. Remember those Matchbox cars? The problem is they're not big enough. Like I bought one at the dollar store the other day. Okay? When I went over to Mitch's and we played a game, I bought one at the store the other day. So here it is. It's got no padding in it. I literally just got a super cheap one. Look, the one label I won't remove. This is, because this actually tells you what the fuck it is. I should remove this little UPC thing. I don't like UPC things. But anyhow, this, so they barely fit in here. So I ended up buying a freaking rag and putting it in there. And it kind of works, but, you can only carry 6 vehicles. I got way more than 6 vehicles. Way more than 6 vehicles. 6 vehicles, that's for amateurs. Alright, so we got Hippie-Ki-Yay. I'm going to cut these down to... God, I'm going to make a lot of paper trash. One of the things I've got to work on soon is making smoke and stuff like that. Oil slicks. There's people that make like the blanks for them. It just seems like that's like a waste. Like I could be, spending money on real stuff that I can't make. All right, Hippie-Ki-Yay is coming with us. Leadfoot is coming with us. And hopefully they don't make an appearance. And the only reason I'm saying that is because, well, we've used Leadfoot. I don't know if I'm going to be able to film this. I don't think I'm going to film it live. If I do film it, I don't think I'm going to film it live. If it was just Mitch and I, it's different, but, I don't know how it's going to go. Leadfoot. All right, we got Both of those are 27 points. Mud Puppy. Yeah, I looked at those cases, but they're not big enough. I don't think that I need to have something that's adjustable. Like even something for a wall. They make lots of like Matchbox display things. And again, when I say Matchbox, I mean Hot Wheels. When I mean Hot Wheels, I mean Matchbox. I use them interchangeable. I like them both. They're actually owned now both by the same company. I don't have a preference. And I only mention those two because you can't get majorettes, and you can get some Mastos, but Tomica. Those are the ones I used to like when I was a kid because they had doors and shit that opened. Or Tomica. Tomica! Okay, Death Face. Probably my least favorite of all the cars that I have is Death Face. It just... really wanted to call it Faces of Death, but it doesn't really work for a car name. These are all boring-ish. Death Face I've used in a game before. I'm pretty sure I used it in a game before. Mud Puppy we used once. That Yellow Bastard. And having something like this helps tremendously. It's like, hey, where's the car sheet? You can see it immediately. It's kind of in the color that the damn car is in. You got a big box that's color-coded where your max gear is. You put a die there. These may not be the final form. The final form these are in, I thought these were too big, but after using them, these are about the right size. Gives you space to put dice and stuff on them for hole points and things. And the final version of these will get laminated. We have a laminator that is not getting enough use. Well, Mr. Green Screen's going with us. Yellow Bastard's going with us. And I really don't want to use the little tokens that I use for my World War II game. I really don't want to write people's names on them and pull them. So what I'm going to use is, and this was accident. I just literally opened the place up and noticed that I had these. And I don't use these enough. There's little cork things. So I'm going to have a bag, and I'll put either J for Joel, a T for myself, or an M for Mitch, and that's who gets to go next. So we'll try that. And if they have stuff written on the cork thing, it's not a big deal, because all I'd use them for is to, like, stick things on them to paint them, and I've only used maybe 4 out of a bag of 50. So, Yellow Bastard. All right, now we start getting to the ones that have seen no action. That Mitch hasn't even seen these guys. That's what you get for being off on Monday and Tuesday. Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude. I want to see Mitch pronounce Schadenfreude. Or spelling it. Hell, I can't even spell it. Hassenpfeffer is hard to spell too. Don't tell me I'm cutting through 2 of them. Oh, that would piss me off. You gotta pay me extra to get pissed off on weekends. Nope. We made Schadenfreude first. These are in the order that they were created in. I think we're going to get to about 16 cars. I think that's about what it is. And no, we're not going to use them all. We're going to use 6 at the most. But which ones you get are going to be random. Hassenpfeffer. Okay. All these are 27-point cars. Now, Gold Digger is not. Let's cut through the middle first. And I haven't exactly pinpointed what the next range of points is. This one happens to be 35. Hell Wench is a 34. But I think 35 is the high limit. If you have a 34, it's just like, okay, give the bitch some fucking grenades. Bam, done. Now you're up to 34, 5. You know? I think 35 is where the next thing needs to be. 27 and 35. And you think, oh, well, it's only 8 points. What's the big deal? Those 8 points make a big difference. They make a big difference because of the body that the vehicle's on and how many slots it can get. See, a lot of these vehicles are, you know, you take a 27-point vehicle and you put a Ram on it. Most of these 27-point vehicles have only 2 build slots. There may be some that have 3, but almost all of them have only 2 build slots. And when you take half of the build slots something has and puts a Ram on it, that really kind of puts a damper on what else you can put on there. Arschgeiger. Ass fiddle in a house. But we have played with these cards before, and I'm telling you, it makes a big difference. It makes a big difference playing with something like this that's full color. It's nice. It's nice having 2 cards and you know, like, okay, this is, you know, you're not scrambling for stuff. It's like, it's kind of obvious which one's which one. Okay, Gold Digger's off to the side. White Trash and Hell Wench, not appearing in this film. Neither one of those two. White Trash is 33 points. Again, give them some grenades, you know, to bump it up to 35. Hell Wench is 34 points. So that's the group of 35. And they're the exception. Okay. We got Falco Rosso and the Pimped Python. I have a feeling that the Pimped Python is going to have an unfair advantage in things. And that's from having the Hell for Leather perk. The Hell for Leather perk basically means it can play a long straight in any gear. I don't know. It's a cool looking vehicle. But I think most of them are cool looking vehicles. Although I'm kind of liking these vehicles that are from the Urban Cowboys. I keep changing their name every time. Urban Brotherhood. Brothers from another mother. I like them. You know, I mean, I wouldn't drive a vehicle that looked like that, but it looks cool. So we got a couple of muscle cars, and we're going to start getting into the Mexican lowriders because I think those guys will be really cool too. All right, the Pimped Python, Falco Rosso. Huh. I gotta change this one. He's got a gray background. I should have a red background. I was trying to do too much the other day. I really didn't want to sit down and make all these. I had like 8 cards of these that I had to make. Like the cards were already made. I just needed to make the cards for them. And it took forever. It took a long time to do it. And it shouldn't have. Falco Rosso. Okay, Poppycock. Harumph. Poppycock, the jury's still out. I have a feeling this might actually be an underpowered car. You know, there's some cars where you look at them like, I better not fight. I better run. And, you know, it takes 12 damage. So it takes more damage than anybody else. It's really lightly armed. It's got only a regular machine gun to the front. So only 2d6 to the front and a pistol. So the most it's going to be able to throw out dice-wise is 3d6 total. So you got your co-driver that's got a pistol and an MG to the front. Or if you don't have anything to the front, the driver and the co-driver can each roll a d6. So 2 to 3d6 at the most, offensively. But it's got 2 more hull points than it normally has, and it has Feel No Pain, which is a skill that if it can't take more than 2 points of damage in a given attack. So if it gets hit by the BFG, right, that throws 10d6, any hits more than 2 don't count. Good morning, Marcus. So we'll see how that is. It's a little bit different. You know, it's a whole stiff upper lip thing, like, you got time for that. Poppycock. That's the best you could do. I like how the vehicle looks. I don't know how that's going to be, but that's the whole point. The whole point is you can't play every vehicle is not meant to be played the same way. The boom bus. Boom bus is not going with us. Old Ben's not going with us. I'm probably still going to pack it. Ben, sorry, you have to sit this one out. It's the only redneck vehicle. Well, Jerry Skids is a redneck vehicle. Redneck. Who you calling redneck? You? The Toothless Wonders. Who are the rednecks in England? The disrespect. You may come with us. You're kind of a one-trick pony. I don't know if you are in real life, but you're a one-trick pony. You have I hate that it's called a 125 millimeter gun. It's like, what is it, like a fucking T80? You know, that's the only thing that has 125. I'm going to change it to big old boomba or something like that. It's behaved the same way. 8d6, max range, but only has 3 ammo. But it has blast. So every uncanceled hit also gets a hazard. So if you hit somebody 4 times, you just drop 4 hazards on their ass too. Now the BFG is really interesting because the BFG only gets 1 shot, but it's 10d6. And it's Methcalade. And it's blast. But it's only 1 shot. And but it can only be forward firing. And when you fire it, you end up taking like a medium move back. So when you fire that thing off, it'll recoil your own vehicle back. How many players do you have? 3. I was really hoping it was just 2. Just to kind of keep things, but... And I don't know if the 3rd player is going to like this game. He can be difficult. Let's put it that way. That's okay. There's things I'm difficult about. Like, I'm not playing fucking DBA again. The Bully Goat. Actually, the Bully Goat ended up turning into a vehicle that I really like. Well, I don't know how it plays, but looks-wise, I really like the Bully Goat. Bully Goat and Jerry Skids. Jerry Skids is the first vehicle, I don't know if it's the only one, but it's the first vehicle that has 2 perks. Jerry Skids has Bullet Time, which is something that my BFG vehicle will end up having, and Mobile Mechanic. And Bullet Time, what it is if you play a slide, so in other words, if you play the one that adds the little square to your move and kicks you off to the side, if you play that in your move, one of your weapons can be treated like a turreted mounted weapon that turn when you fire it. So a BFG can only be firing forward. So if you do a slide with that, all of a sudden you have turreted capability. You can shoot at somebody behind you. But But you got to get a slide. You know, it's not guaranteed that you're going to get a slide. And you got to put it on a vehicle big enough that it probably isn't going to have more than 2 handling. So your odds of getting a slide aren't great. Jerry skids. And it has mobile mechanic. So mobile mechanic, you take the other crew member, which there's 2 crew. If you don't use them for anything else, you could use them to repair 1 hull damage. You can't go over the 10, but I don't know. It might be unbalanced. It might be unbalanced. Like, you know what? We're not building another one with that perk because it's too unbalancing. Bully Goat. All these are 27-point vehicles. You can see we've only moved... How many have we moved over here? 5? 4? God, I can't count. 4. I only have 4 vehicles. So I guess I should have 18. Doesn't seem like there's 18 over here. I like Bully Goat. So, one of the cheats this game has, you can inadvertently make a cheat. The longer you make your vehicle, the faster you move. Because what you do is you measure from the front, and then you put the vehicle at the end of that. So the longer your vehicle is, you get to move the whatever you pick plus the length of your vehicle. So that could give long vehicles an advantage. I mean, if you took something like a buggy that was really short, and you took like something really long, the long one would have an advantage. However, it's more difficult to maneuver in and out of things. So I don't think it's dramatic, considering the biggest difference would be maybe an inch between the longest and the shortest one, really. Bully Goat. Rasta Blasta. And there's some vehicles that definitely can explode based on how much ammo they have. So, like, cannon ammunition is just as flammable as, say, smoke in the game. It's an ammo. So when a vehicle gets wrecked, you have to roll against exploding. Depending on how much ammo you have left, that'll determine whether or not it explodes. Hellwench is loaded down with all kinds of stuff. I mean, Hellwench would just rip apart half the fucking board. You know, she's got 3 rounds of flamethrower, 3 rounds of napalm dropper, and a nitro booster. I guess it's not that much. She has 6. I don't think the flamethrower is going to be a good weapon. You got to get really close. The other thing I've started noticing, I have a feeling that a rear firing weapon is not very good. Because what happens is you move and then you fire. So unless you're going to pass somebody and then unload the thing in their face, you're basically like, if you're in range at the beginning of the turn, by the time you're moving, you're not in range anymore. So now this is just from having played the game a couple times. So this is the last one we're cutting up here. And then we'll start wrapping these things up. Yeah, there's people that make a dedicated Gaslands case. They're too fucking expensive. Like $200 fucking dollars. Like, I don't want to spend that kind of money. You know? I don't spend that kind of money on that. That's stupid. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and cut them up. I don't know how many games. You know, the other thing is like, I don't know how much time Mitch has. We might just do a game that we can film after we've played the game normally. With I don't know. I think I'm gonna bring my filming stuff just to be safe. I would like to film a game. It's unlikely that it'll be live. He doesn't have His internet isn't that fast. I don't want to. I don't know how to freaking tie into it. I don't want to tie into his internet. And the next thing I know, I got all this Asian porn on my computer. Whatever that means. I'm just making that part up. Maybe. The other day I got a notification that my computer is no longer protected because I didn't upgrade to Windows 11. Well, I'm not going to upgrade to Windows 11 because I don't want all of a sudden my computer not fucking working. And that's happened before. And the last thing I need right now is to have to buy another computer. That would be bad. So I don't really use my computer for anything other than playing some War Thunder. I don't even surf with it. You know, we film this. I don't want all of a sudden, hey, we can't do the show anymore. Why? Because all of a sudden the Streamlabs doesn't work with Windows 11. There's a glitch. And I just don't have the mental... I don't have the personality. I shouldn't say mental. I don't have the personality to deal with that. I don't have the personality to deal with a fucking nerd burglar that decided to, you know, invent new shit just to fuck me. So, we're not going to upgrade. Guess that doesn't mean I've had this computer for 5 years. Well, it's done really well. And no reason I shouldn't have it another 5 years. Good morning, Mr. Barnes. Old Ben. Yep. We named a truck after you. We didn't name a truck after you. But, and we made it all brown and... I mean, there's a lot of more vehicles to do. I mean, we only have one redneck, maybe two redneck vehicles, and we even have a whole squadron of these fuckers. You know, I'm gonna have one called Spit Stain, named after the driver. Problem is, I like the variety. I like the, okay, make one of these. Oh, let's build this one next. Oh, let's do a girl driver. Let's do a pink one, you know? Just mixing it up. You need a new printer. Mine's 10, nearly 11. Yeah, there's no reason to... That's a long time. You know, that's a long time, unfortunately. I mean, I'm not a person that goes and like, hey, some new technology is available. Let's buy it. And I'm like, no. I'm already enjoying what I have that I spent money on. Okay. We'll see how we got to also impose hard, fast rules. You can't, no drinking on the table. No drink. I don't need to replace that, Matt. It's too awesome and you can't get it again. No drinks on the table. Okay, who's up first? Hippie Kaye. How many vehicles is this, by the way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 vehicles, and they're all 27 points. It just makes sense. You just roll to see which one you get. You know, like, it makes sense. Okay. So Hippie Kaye. Hippie Kaye, mother, you know. Oh, I left my bumble clock there. All right, and I'm going to try to label these things. So this one's going to be hippie. Hope I can read this when I crumple it up. We'll know after doing one. This should be enough protection. Of course, you can't read it. And honestly, they traveled really well that way. And as long as I don't drop it, well, I don't care what container it is. If I drop it, it's fucked. You know. Let's do them in reverse order here. Hippie-ki-yay. Okay. Leadfoot. I hope this one doesn't get into play. I used it a lot. There's nothing wrong with this vehicle. But I do have a laminator. I do, or the wife does. We have a laminator. I've used it one time for a hobby thing. And it should be enough in here that they're going to hold each other in place. Okay. Next. But this isn't the final thing. It's getting close. Death Face. I hope we don't use Death Face. Death Face is a bit boring. It's got a machine gun sticking out of its rear end. So, it's not the most durable one. One of my least favorite names I really couldn't come up with. For the longest time I had this thing called Skeletor. But that's really the driver. It's all dressed in purple and shit. Skeletor. We'll call this one Death. Certainly the cheapest case of all. I don't want to spend $200 on it. And then I looked at it, I'm like, it's going to be really inefficient. Mud Puppy. And this is specifically in pieces on purpose. Because if I close that up, then I can't get into where the crew is. Trying to be light so we don't ride through that and get on the vehicle. Okay. Who's next? Mr. Green Scream. Mr. Green Scream, probably one of my favorite vehicles, if not my favorite vehicle. And I think it's the stripes. So, we've got a lot more vehicles coming up with stripes. I'll probably like them too. It's the only time you'll see me rolling stuff. Mr. GS. Yeah. You should be fine. You know, we're not going to wear a marathon with him. Off to the Fiasco Show. Great name. On a Sunday? I like that name. Fucking Fiasco. That yellow bastard. Beautiful color. Fiasco's a great name. Much better than Claymore. See, Claymore, the problem with Claymore is it's, specific to medieval. You go to Claymore to play World War II stuff. It doesn't really work. Yeah, YB. Strange to do a show on a Sunday. I don't like Sundays. A day of did I have enough fun this weekend? And it used to be things were closed all the time on Sunday. Things have gotten better. Like if I had my own business, I'd be open on Sunday. Like fuck it, why even be closed on like Monday or Tuesday or something like that. Shit, I'm asking for Mitch's hours. Mitch's days off are fine, if you don't want to interact with other people that have normal schedules. Shot. Shh. Hassenpfeffer. One of them Bugs Bunny words. The only vehicle that I've switched out the wheels on. I have a feeling this is a really powerful vehicle. Buggies are really handy, unless they take damage. But they're nimble, they're fast. I think this way of carrying vehicles is actually as unprofessional as it looks. Like, what are you? I'm a tampon salesman. What do you do for a living? I sell tampons. Roll your own tampon service. Arschgeiger. The fiddler. The anal fiddler. Yeah, see, at this point, this was a while ago when I built this thing. I already had plenty of cars. Now we got like double that amount. And it's not I need to be building them because I've got 200 down there. And I think I'm going to have another 20 coming soon. We'll see what that's all about. Like my buddy was like, hey, I found some cars. I'm going to send them to you. I'm like, you need to send cars to people that don't have any. I've got like too many already. I'm in danger of like overload. I'm in danger of having too many and just like, okay, I got too many things. I'm going to move on to something else. They're nimble, they're fast, and they'll blast you in the ass. There you go. Well, if you get blasted in the ass, at least you have a hole there. Soften the blow. The pimped python. I have a feeling this vehicle may be too good. That skill of having health with others just... It looks on paper like it's really deadly, but a lot of it is going to matter what order your vehicles go in. And that's why I kind of like you don't get to choose who goes next. It's kind of like blind general, Go to the Royal Armories when you're there. Look out for Yorkshire Gamer. Ken is normally near the door. They don't let him in. We got to stay near the door. What's your name? Ken. I haven't seen that in a long time. We'll call this PP. The Pimp Python. It's named after his PP. What? Falco Rosso. Red Falcon. Reporting for duty. You got the 5-box set of Jurassic Park truck. Oh, that's a good set. That's a good set. I know which one you're talking about. It's funny because now, I've looked at things and I'm like, I know which one that is. That one has, those dinosaurs could come in handy. It comes with a Raptor, right? I think it comes with a Raptor. It comes with a really cool Jeep. Like one of those, I don't like those Jeep Gladiators. They look weird. But something like that. But I think it's got like open doors. Like that's a bad idea. I haven't seen the new Jurassic Park movie. I know they're hokey, but they're better than fucking Marvel movies. At least you get to see dinosaurs. As a dinosaur fan, I approve. Falco Rosso. Okay, we're one level. I think this is going to work really well. Yes, it's a, pick your tampon, but pick what flavor tampon do you want? Poppycock. With the stiff upper lip skill. That's what it should be called. The only problem with the Rastavan is I got a million names I could have named it. I could have named it Jamaican Me Crazy. I could have named it Rastafasta. What was the other one? Cruel Gunnings. Cruel Gunnings, man. Poppycock. Poppy? Is Poppy there? Can I like to go to the park with Poppy? Methcalade. It's like something you saw in the corner on a stand. Want to buy something from my Methcalade stand? Nope. You'd be tripping. My copy of Alien Squad Leader. Not sure you've seen it, but it's a bit DBA thing for sci-fi. No, I've heard of it. It's a good name. Names are important. Mitch has got this, his Command and Colors game that he's playing with the Epic miniatures. The 40K Epic. I always give him hell because he came up with a name. I was like, oh, we'll call it Red Rain. I'm like, are you having like blood? Is like blood rain every time? No, it just sounds cool. I'm like, you didn't do well in advertising, my friend. Hey, as long as you like the name of it, that's fine. I'm out of Rams. I gotta buy Rams. I gotta order from this guy, or I'm thinking of ordering from somebody else just to see. Not because this guy's stuff sucks. I actually like his things a lot. The only thing I didn't like is some of his machine guns are like obviously like an AK, but like in 28 millimeter scale. I don't want to put an AK looking thing that's oversized. Like, I know enough about guns that like that bothers me. That'd be like having a bunch of tanks. The biggest one's a Panzer One. Like, it doesn't really work. Here's Jerry. But there's another company called Creepy Hero Studios. I think I'm going to order from them. And there's another one, like Finn's Custom whatever, so, I don't think I need any guns. It's Rams and Bully Goat. I did not name this one. The Graffiti named this one. I'm tired of the whole DBA thing of like, oh, let's look that up. You play the game thousands of times. Let's look that up, and then you read it, and then you're like, have I been playing it wrong? I'm done with that. I'm done with that like stupidity. I can't work with that type of thing. And you guys still have that guy on Fanaticus. I swear he's never played the game straight, and he's like, man, that fucker likes to type. I just happened to go on there the other day. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's going on and on and on about changing the freaking game. Like, and if you're going to change things, you change one thing and see how that affects everything. All right. Did they make the game better or worse? Made it better. Cool. Let's change another thing. Is it still better or is it going in the wrong direction? The High Roller. Again, I did not name this one. This one came on the vehicle itself. I couldn't come up with a name for this one. But this works. Well, I call it HIGH, high. This guy's on something. High roller. Rasta Blasta. Yeah, man. Now these are just glued. These are just stuck on here with stickum. So, and I did that on purpose, so it's not like it can break apart kind of thing. Been looking at custom gubbins and greebles. This work too. The science fiction stuff is so addictive. I've never been into science fiction. Not much. Other than Battle of the Planets when I was a kid. Rasta Blasta. Alright, now these guys are just scenery. See? Look. That's pretty good. You know, it's getting pretty heavy. Alright. These, we're not going to label them. We're just going to... Alright, Ben, what do you think about your pile of trash here? I think it's got potential. It's got potential. It's making me want to do more. I don't know that I want to do any more of these. Depends what vehicles I end up getting. And Marty ends up sending me 20 vehicles. I turn them all into wrecks. I'm not going to do that. That's not cool. But if I have repeats, I might. The wreck looks freaking great. I tell you what, I went from being really excited to go into a model show to I don't care to go to another one. There's just too much crap there. There's too many old kits. This ramp truck turned out well. This guy in Ocala had 4 or 5 other of these. He had a yellow one, he had a red one. You know, you could just use it as a ramp if you wanted to. Okay, I am going to go ahead and pack these larger ones. So if I do a game later on. I mean, now I got enough hoodmobiles that this guy could go and hang with them. The problem is everybody else is... The hood ornaments. That's a good name for them. The hood ornaments. Although I want something to work with BBC. The Bling Brothers Consortium or something like that. Hey, doesn't that spell BBC? Yep. Yes, it does. Okay. I'm just going to bring them all. Fuck it. And supposedly tomorrow, we'll see if I'm motivated. I'm going to have to pack some of this stuff up in my room and make room for a Gaslands area. Which means all my ancients are going to go away. And pack them in a box. Pack all the ancient books and stuff like that away. I'm not going to be looking at any ancient books anytime soon. Sorry. Okay, who's this? The Boom Bus. White trash. I don't think the white trash vehicle is going to be very good. I think it's going to be a bit of a one-trick pony. Even though it's probably my favorite name of all the things on there. White. White. Looks good. Only thing I might add my own would be a little windshield cracked up with some contrast. That'd be purely personal preference. I do my glass comic book style in blue. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get into that. We haven't tried that yet. Let's wrap this one in the middle. Old Ben. Ben. You have so many 15mm sci-fi, be able to put together forces easily. There's that video game that everybody was like raving about several years ago called Shadow Empire. It doesn't sound anything like that, but it's like, it reminds me of that whole Empire game where you'd go and you colonize this planet, but I just couldn't get on with it. Sometimes games are too fucking complicated off the get-go. I don't mind them getting complicated, but like, let me master like easy shit before you start throwing the whole everything at me. Gold digger. Okay, let's not forget to take this with us. It requires a level of autism. It's too fucking complicated. It's too complicated. There's too much. It's like, I ended up getting, like, when I first got the computer, this one, I'm like, man, I gotta catch up on these old games that have come out since the time when I got games, and one of them was like the new Rome Total War. It's too fucking complicated. The Romance of the Three Kingdoms. It's too complicated. It's too, like, it's just too much. And these people go, oh, I need to make the game harder. It's like, dude, you need to get a fucking job that's challenging. Like, some of us are like, now I don't want a cakewalk, right? I don't want a, like, foregone conclusion. But I don't want to be fucking tortured either. Like, I didn't like the graphics on it. It was a little too retro. I'm not retro friendly. I played the games. I don't need to listen to any more MIDIs or EGA graphics. Like, I've done all that. I don't find charm in looking at graphics that make me wonder whether or not I have my contacts in. I'm not really a fan of that kind of thing. All right, so the good news is we got that. Oh, let's not forget cards for these vehicles. That's how shit like that happens. We're going to bring this. We're going to bring this. We're going to use this new dice, which I was disappointed in getting them. Lovely. I was disappointed in getting these dice because the original ones that I got are already fading. And we've used them, I don't know, a dozen times, but you can barely read all the shift things. So I saw these online that were etched, and they're white, and I like them, but they're a little smaller. And it didn't say what size they are. And I don't know that I like them being, I guess I'll just get used to dealing with them. I'm going to bring these set because there's a couple of these that give you, there's a couple of plays that actually give you certain numbers of extra skills. So you might get like a free shift. You can put that one as your free shift and then roll the other three kind of thing, So going with us. Need to bring. I hate bringing shit over there. I end up leaving stuff over there all the time. There's too much noise over there. I complain about my area being really disorderly, and it's not. I got, it's not that I'm a neat freak. It's just like, they keep the noises in your head from like screaming. So this is something we need to work on soon. These are piles of tires. You just have for, what's the name of it? Scatter terrain, scatter shit, garbage things, that kind of stuff. Paint those up in an afternoon. I'm glad I did the wrecks in the truck last night. I was like almost like time to cut out. I'm like, no. Let's do that stuff because we can feature those in the game tomorrow, even though they're not really part of it. We can add scenery, Potential Indian car names to drive backwards on the track. Is that what they do? Well, the guy that drove us backwards in London, it wasn't backwards. He was just going the wrong fucking way. I don't know if he was from India. He was from one of the countries next door to India. Ram Ditton, Ashid Madras, Yupis Yusuf. I don't want to start getting into Middle Eastern stuff because the next thing you know, I'm gonna piss the wrong people off, and I don't have a bodyguard service. But I really would like to have a guy that's Ahmed, the motherless goat herder. I wouldn't use anybody whose last name, whose name involved the M word. We're not here to ridicule those kind of other faiths, but. Ahmed, the motherless goat herder. I've always wanted one of those. And you can have people out in the crowds or whatever. They can shoot guns into, kind of like the sand people. Okay. So yeah, we're going to take all that stuff with us. This is the first car I ever did, even though it's technically not finished, is this Tantrum, which is a tuned Mustang. It's probably going to have the drive angry perk because it is a Tantrum, and I just need to put like a weapon or two on it, and it's good to go. Which is funny because I think this is the only Mustang I have. I think it's the only Mustang that I have. Let me go get a drink. I'll be right back. Sound like an alcoholic. What kind of cars would Indian drivers drive? What are those things called? Like the one with the, not a rickshaw, the ones with one wheel at the front and two in the back, like the glorified golf carts. Yeah, I'd do an Indian vehicle. I get to talk like an Indian person the whole time. There's a big plus. Trying to find a cheap source of shipping containers. I don't enjoy the railway modeler's tax. They're expensive. One of these 3D printers, one of these guys that I mentioned, and it might be Creepy Head Studios. They make like box cars. Like if you were going to do something with that big diorama that they did, that big war game that they did, one of the Australian ones in Stalingrad, that the guy made like his custom box cars. Like they make box cars for that. They're shrunk a little bit. They're condensed looking. Tuk-tuk. Mm-hmm. Debris of war. The problem is if I recommend you something, it's going to be something that's cheap for me in the States and not the shit. It would just be vice versa. Like, we're getting bent. We're both getting bent with the shipping, you know? And I don't think it's ever going to come back. That's just, ever since COVID, it's like everything's like, oh, this sucks. Well, enjoy it. This is how things are going to be now. What do we got here in the loose ends? Pussyfoot. Okay, that's an RX-7. And I got two RX-7s now. One's yellow and this one's... So this is what the guy had them. He had them like in a big bin, and he had them in a little plastic bag so they don't bang into each other. RX-7s are rear-wheel drive, aren't they? I think so. I had a friend of mine that had an older one. Probably not that fast. Deli Belly, the toilet car. Well, see, that's the funny thing is because I like Indian food, and it doesn't have that reaction to me. Here in the States, the food that has that reaction is Mexican food. That's what supposedly has that reaction. Well, as much as I would like to call this Deli Belly, that is a hell of a great name. The toilet, the dumperoo. There's only a million names you can come up with stuff like that. That's going to be like a one-trick pony. I think oil slicks is what it'll drop. That's probably the biggest thing to poop. Dumping oil slicks and stuff. Null oil. Yeah, this is the truck that Marty gave me. It's just a Colorado Maisto, which means it's probably not worth taking apart. Maisto things are just, they're shit on the inside. They have no interiors. And they got cheap wheels. The Pimp Python is a Maisto. This has got to have some kind of rockets. This is just asking for rockets. 2015 Chevrolet Colorado. This thing will make a great vehicle. What's this, a Dodge Daytona? Yep. Got a big old wang. But we got to take this apart because, chrome interior? Come on. I don't give a shit how much money you have. You don't want a chrome interior. Muscle, this is one of the clowns. Probably shouldn't be in here. I need to take this thing, put this in the bag. I don't want this graphics to get scraped because we're going to use them. Yeah, this is one of these. What's it say on the side of it? Something Wheels? Not Hot Wheels. Maybe it is Hot Wheels on the side here. I don't know what it is. We'll leave it. Yeah, it's got a big fist. The brown fister. I hate all that fist motif, man. Fuck that fist motif. You can come up with something better. I don't care if the president does it or disenfranchised people or revolutionaries. I don't like anything with a fist or a hammer and sickle, none of that shit. So we're going to make fun of these fuckers with a fist. Go fist yourself. So that's a Urban Brotherhood car. So is this one with a basketball on it. This is going to be a redneck or a free agent type thing. And I got these jungle cars. What is this thing? Doesn't even say what it is. Junglezilla. I'm not getting Godzilla vibes off this thing. This came from a jungle set. Love the Indian food, but that's a great name. Yeah. Welcome, Hoffman. You're ordering a set of Grunts cars. Shipping to the UK is $22. It can wait. I don't think it's going to come back down. What's the last thing that something came down? When's the last time something came down in price? It hasn't happened. And I hate to be a boycott type person because that's just not in my personality, but if people are willing to pay prices for things that are outrageous, they're never going to come down. Like cars, like actual one-to-one scale cars, they're not affordable. You know, they're just not affordable. Okay, this, I don't know if this is a clown. Yeah, I guess this is a clown one. Hot Wheels, not so funny, funny car team. Who's laughing now? Yeah, okay, I guess this one, I got this thing loose. And this is metal on the top and metal on the bottom, which means we're not tearing this thing apart. Here's another urban cowboy thing. This isn't even a Hot Wheels. This is a made in China golden something something something. I think this is a pullback, but yet this one has a screw in it. I think this is one of these pullback cars. What's inside this bastard? Got speakers in the hood and in the grill. Hope it's not a fucking dead roach or some shit like that in here. I'll scream like a girl. Okay, there's weights in here. That's unnecessary. No, not really much to it. See, this is how all cars should be. One screw, take it apart, done. Not this rivet hell. Yeah, big old bling truck. But those are some of my favorite vehicles, is the urban vehicles. Not in real life, in the game. All right, what's this? This is I think this one came, Matchbox Tour. And it's got a camel on here. And it's some Volkswagen vehicle that doesn't get imported to the States. There's a chainsaw in the back. It looks like an extra set of batteries. It is a Volkswagen Saviero Cross. Nope. Never heard of her. We'll put her in the jungle thing. Got a short bus here. Matchbox Science Center. Might be a good nerd burglar vehicle. You know, they're always into science and space and all that shit. They don't know shit about the Romans, but they're all worried about some planet 15,000 light years away. Nerd. What do we got here? This is a MiG rig. Well, it doesn't look like a Mikoyan. And I just found this the other day. I was looking for this, and proof, you need to find things when you're not looking for them. You can also lose them when you're not looking for them. This. I've had this forever. I've had this probably 40 years. This is a bag of brass things. So I'm probably going to make the BFG. And the BFG is going to be something like freaking this. Like a big old, like, a fucking cannon. You know? Might even be bigger than this. Something way just ridiculous. It doesn't weigh anything, it's brass. I don't know what the hell category this fucker is in. Maybe in the redneck. This is the Mexicans. This is, well, this is a Skyline. Although it's not typically what I would consider a Skyline. Japanese here somewhere. Yeah, something like this needs to have the freaking BFG. It's got to be on like a truck body anyways. Just something ridiculous and just like a cannon like 7 people can crawl in and just fire it off. You know, something extremely inaccurate, just like fire for effect. Like, you know, just just aim for the nearest city kind of thing. And we got Mini Cooper hell here. I mean, I'd probably have 10 Mini Coopers. There's one, here's another one. The clown car one's technically a clown car one. The one with the, the old Union Jack on it. Jacked up. That's a good name for it, Jacked Up. A Mick car. There's actually a series called Clover Cars. Reminds me of that old Space Orc checkered pattern rockets. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they made a series called Clover Cars, which I guess were a nod to the Irish. But a lot of the designs are ones you see on another vehicle. They're just repaints. This one, I don't know what vehicle this is. This is some, here's called a Jeepster. It's some kind of, it definitely has a Jeep front. Looks like a Jeep Liberty, maybe. It's a Jeep Liberty Cabriolet. So, McFast. I wouldn't mind having them. Bunch of drunkard Irish team guys. This is definitely a girly car. Oh, it's a Ford. It's another Ford. Okay, it's another Ford Escort. Ford Focus. Sorry. Same thing. This is the Camaro version, or is it a Chevelle? It's a Chevelle. This is the Chevelle equivalent of that Tantrum. So this is what they call tuned out. And honestly, I think the tuned out actually works really well for the game. Got a plastic top, metal bottom. My preference, because they now actually drill the rivets out. Because the rivets is made out of plastic. Yeah, that's going to be a good looking. Any of these things that have like built-in stripes, I personally don't want to drive a car with stripes on them, but they look great for these games. This whole thing, this is definitely a no-name. Made in Hong Kong. It's old. It says Hong Kong. This is one of these panel vans that, like, you got kids, don't have them, use this in a commercial. You see a vehicle like this, don't walk up next to it. I don't care how many lollipops they're going to give you. A street sweeper. And this one, I got this for 25 cents. And it literally has machine guns in the front. So the first thing I checked is, can you have 2 forward-firing machine guns in the game? And you can. So that's what this thing's going to be armed with. That's a buggy with 2 forward-firing machine guns. Hey, that's what's on the fucking car, Does it have a name? No, not written on there. I don't like these vehicles with all this chrome, because the chrome like flakes off of them. This is an Alpha or a Julia or something, or Alpha Julia or something or another. I think, actually, maybe an old Datsun. I think that's exactly what this is. This is a Datsun. It's got a little circle there. Hey, perfect. All I gotta do is fill it in with red, and I got a rising sun. I got a free rising sun. I don't mind painting the rising sun on them. I just don't want to spend 3 hours trying to keep making it circular. Circular. Hot Wheels makes a car in Dazzle Camo, the High Roller 2 art car. I might need to pick that one up. That one is a super treasure hunt. So when I was looking for my High Roller, that one is last year's super treasure hunt. It looks like a zebra paint scheme. And if you get a hold of one of those, you probably won't because they're expensive. The problem with the High Roller is you got to put something over the front of it because it's like missing a grill. And I almost thought it was missing a part, but that's just the way it is. If you look at High Roller 2, yeah, these Dazzles, let's go to this one. This guy's selling 3 of them for $50. I have the bottom one, which honestly is the better of the. One of the 2 top cars is a super what they call a super treasure hunt. And I'm not interested in buying things and reselling them. Yeah, this says treasure hunt. Oh, it's only going for $5. That's not bad. The problem is the shipping on a five. I'd buy a $5 car if I really wanted it. Actually, it looks pretty cool. Looks like it's trying to get away from U-boats. Oh, you sent me a link? Let's see what we got here. I really enjoy looking at the cars, even if you don't buy any. Oh, that's a good price. Oh, 25 pound, almost 26 quid to ship it to me. I bet it's a lot cheaper for you guys. That's a cool car. You know? That's a cool car. It's funny, this guy actually selling, or someone is actually selling the High Roller I have for more than this other one. I saw this at the store the other day and I didn't pick it up. And because it's ridiculous. It's like a Lucky Cat little buggy. See if there's a picture of the front. Well, here's a picture of the card. Feline Lucky. Oh, feline lucky. Okay. Oh, you funny Chinaman. It's just too ridiculous. It's just too ridiculous. We got another Japanese one here. This is actually one that's hard to find. This is called Fish and Chips. It's some, I don't know what the hell it is, a Bentley or something like that. A Rolls Bentley. It's actually a brand new shape. It looked like it's all beat up in there. I wouldn't change a thing. I'd repaint the interior in the same color, but so it'd be painted, not plastic. I'd leave everything the same. Unless it's a really bad paint job, just go with it the way it's painted. It gives you variety. That cat one's adorable. You got a thing for cats? Where are my Britishers? Here. It's freaking Charger. That's in the generic redneck things. Here's another Jeep type thing. This is a make-believe Jeep, a Coyote. Coyote 500. Car's got no headlamps. Don't trust a car with no grill or headlights. It's up to something nefarious. Okay, another armored truck. Here's a camper. I think there's actually house rules for a camper. For a motorhome. Did I kill that thing already? Well, it was only half of the soda. I picked this thing up. This was a quarter. And I wish they had more of these. This one's actually called Speed Bump. It's actually a wreck. And it's literally a wreck. And I wish they had more of these because it's great. It's got wheels on it. I mean, it needs to be repainted, obviously. I'm not sure what vehicle this is originally. Maybe it looks like a Monte Carlo from the 80s or something like that. But you can't smash a car and it look like this. You know? You have to shrink yourself. The metal won't bend enough for that. Let's see if they said these things have to be really expensive. Or what'd you send me, Jeffrey? Let's see what we got here. Listen to this Indian Christmas banger. I will. I'll probably like it. I like listening to those people. That's not the one where they make up all the curse words. Hot Wheels Speed Bump. Hot Wheels Speed Bump. Oh, they make a lot of them. Oh, it's only $17 fucking dollars. Like, nope. Hot Wheels Speed Bump Rare. Okay, well, that's a great vehicle. Well, it's not really a vehicle. It's going to be I don't know, you could probably turn this into a car, and it'd just be a car that's just on its last leg. Actually, that's probably a better idea since it has wheels on it already. I hate wasting wheels on a vehicle it's not going to run. That actually might not be a bad idea. Just have some car that has just like it just came out of the crusher. That's probably actually better use for it than using it as a wreck. We'll see. We'll have to make some more of those Ben wrecks. Yep, we're naming all the wrecks after you. See, here's the 2 Land Rovers that I have. I don't need 2 of them. This little bastard. That's a great vehicle for a conversion. I don't know what the hell this is supposed to be. Some kind of truck. Erkenstein rod. Erikenstein rod. Oh my goodness. Definitely not going with that name. Yellow windows. Stupid. Okay, this is over the Redneckistanis. These type vehicles. These are the kind of vehicles I don't like. I was talking about it last night. Vehicles I don't like. I don't like these type of vehicles. Like, I don't like the actual vehicle. If I see it, I'm like, them ZZ Top looking things, not interested. Hooligan. Redneck. This buggy, what's this written on here? Grizzly Bear Trail Riders. Little Bear. There's one guy at the flea market that was selling Hot Wheels. They weren't too expensive. They were in the package and everything. I want to say they were $3 or $5 a piece, and they were like a bunch of Woodies. Let's see if I have a Woody here. You guys, you should know what a Woody is. Haven't you ever had a Woody before? This is a Woody. This is a modified Woody. Those cars from the 1940s that had the wood on the side of them. And they were all like surfer things. They had like surfer motif things. So that would actually work. But I don't need to be buying any vehicles. This is going to be a redneck vehicle. I think it's called Swamp Commander or whatever. Pretty sure this is going to be Puddle Hopper. But this is why I need to save the crews that are open top, because there's a limited amount of open top guys. You know. And this has to have a crew. I mean, it's completely open. Like, there's no, you're not fooling anybody. Where are the rednecks at? I guess technically they're over here. All right. I have another short bus. This is an ice cream truck. Here's another redneck vehicle. This is a classic. Is this a Chevy or a Ford? It's a Chevy. 1968 Chevy C10. You see, this needs some folks in the back here. And crap back here or something like that. I don't know. What I lack is like 50 caliber like pintle mount machine guns. I would want to get some pintle mount machine guns. I have like a severe lack of that. Because I have several vehicles that would look really good with one. Here's this Nerd Burglar mobile. I don't know what I'm going to do with this because this is metal on metal. The top is metal. The bottom is metal. I really don't want to drill this, take it apart. It's a Johnny Lightning, which I'm surprised because it doesn't have good oh, this one's going to need wheels replaced because it's missing the inserts of these. Damn nerds don't know how to change a tire. It's supposed to be a Lincoln Continental or something. Oh, custom Continental. Hey, how do I know that? Nerds. Yeah, or something like this for the BFG. Right? Just nothing but a big ass cannon. It's got to be a heavy truck. It's got to be a heavy truck with a BFG. Or something like this one. That's why I picked these things up at the flea market. Okay, this is another jungle type vehicle. Terrain Trouncer. I don't know what vehicle this is supposed to be. Inspired by. Here's another buggy. Baja Bandit. Again, these guys, they have to have a crew. They have to have a crew in them. And then this is a buggy, but for some reason it's huge. Sand Racer. For some reason this bastard's huge. Well, it's 161 scale, but 161th. Another buggy. Yeah, I could do like a desert jungle racing type thing. What's this one called? Doesn't say. Jungle Mauler. Yeah, you repaint this thing, It'll end up looking really good. Get rid of this red on the, you got too many. You can't have yellow and green and red and chrome. It just, you're screaming in every direction. This is a cool vehicle, even though I don't like cars with this VIN. Although this might be a 40s car. This might be a, yep, it's a 49 Mercury. Yeah, this is okay. This is when cars start going to shit. After this, they start getting ugly as crap. This thing is, yeah, silver bullet looking thing. Yeah, this thing's pretty cool. So, I hope we get to use the Python because I'm wondering how that getting a free straight works. I'm concerned it might be too powerful, being able to play that a long straight in any gear. I think it might be a little too powerful. But that's just looking at it from the outside. This is a Porsche with a ridiculous color interior. More Germans. Do we have any of them? Over here, what do we got here? That's a Prius I was trying to paint. My one police vehicle I have. Federal Police. It's got supposedly a gun up here, but it's taken out. I don't think my cops are going to have guns. I think their mode of play is they're going to be NPCs and they're going to have pit maneuvers and run people off the road and crash into them. And I think it might be like you can't shoot at them either. Like, you can ram into them, but you're not allowed to shoot at the cops. Cops aren't allowed to shoot at you. What's this, a Mazda 3? It's extremely large. Mazda 2. Ooh, economy. Nips get those. Here's a taxi Prius. This is a cool vehicle right here. '68 El Camino. Oh, Tritarch was talking about this thing. He was talking about a 69, but that's pretty close to what he was looking at. Of course, I don't think he said he wanted a red one, but hey. And I don't think they have the engine back here. El Camino's pretty sure it's a front engine car. This is just way over the top ridiculousness. Ridiculation. Yeah, look at all these cars. That's not even the ones that are in packages. Yeah, it's out of control. There's an Eclipse. I had a friend of mine who had an Eagle Talon back in the day. So it's the knockoff of the Eclipse, and the console of it was awesome looking. It looked like a fucking plane or something like that. At least at the time, I was really impressed with the interior of that car back in 1992. Nips get that one. U.S. Highway Department. Yeah, see, this is like needs like the big boom bar on it. Highway maintenance truck. Okay. Well, some of these ridiculous colored windshields actually work when you give them like a brown or a black wash. So I've been able to salvage a couple of them. Yeah. Again, I don't like these vehicles. They probably work fine for this game. Passon Gasser. Oh, there's your Indian food car right there. Strip tested, race proven. Mr. Gasket Company test car. This is actually Johnny Lightning with the rubber tires. Camaro. Here's that tow truck. And I really got this for this tow thing. So I actually may pull the tow out and use it on another vehicle. Man, there's a lot of bling there. What vehicle is this? Oh, Golf GTI. Got the Momo logo, which I think are tires? Are Momo tires? Something like that. Golf. I think the standard seats upholstery on a Golf is like, I think like tartan, believe it or not. I don't know if I'm this one, but so I was looking at, why are the inside of all these cars like plaid and tartan and shit like that? I mean, tartan and a German car just don't go together. That's a different tribe. A little Fiat, a little pizza fazool here. Pasta fazzoli. Yeah, and they got stuff. This is like a little Japanese truck, isn't it? It's a Mitsubishi or whatever. There's actually a little elephant here. Made in Thailand, and they give you a little elephant. That's cute. I like elephants, unless you got to clean up after them. It is a Sambar Subaru. It's got a little heffalump there. Cute. Looks more like a mammoth, honestly. And this truck that comes with the porta potties. Oh, it actually has the Poop King. Oh, and it has a poop there. Poop King. Yeah, see, this is like, put them on the side of the track and then use this for something else. Matchbox Poop King. Oh, this is cute. And it's got a little elephant. So it says Poop King and has an elephant on it. Let's zoom in. Fuck, let's really zoom in. Dude. See if this came out all right. Don't twist on me, you son of a bitch. How do you lock this thing? End up locking it and then, is it this thing? Yeah, there we go. How many more times are you going to switch on me? Jesus Christ. I thought I locked you, son of a bitch. Poop King. It has a little heffalump. Guess that's the little logo for being made in Thailand. He's cute. I don't see using this on it. And there's actually a Poop King and a sign that you need to wash your fucking hands. I don't know how you would see that on there. You know, if you don't know that you got to wash your hands after going to the bathroom, you got problems. A sign's not going to cure what you have. And we got some other odds and sods in here. Delivery van that actually opens. I don't know if there's something inside. There usually is. 1986 Hot Wheels. Did we break this thing apart? Looks, yeah, I did. Okay, well, what's inside? Nothing. Okay. All right, so that's what we got here in the loose ends. Got a lot of buggies and jungle vehicles. A lot of them. Probably should do some of those next. The buggies seem to be real competitive. You know, they can go up really high gear. They're really maneuverable. They're cute. Hey, it's a thing. You thought I should have gotten the cat one? Only 3 of the urban playboys. I got 20 of them. Supposedly they're coming today. That's what he said. We'll do an unboxing on them if they do. Of course, it's going to be probably a while before I check them out. Hopefully we don't have any repeats. If we do, maybe I'll smash mine and we'll paint his up. I mean, there's so many damn vehicles. There's no point in painting the same one twice. That's just stupid. So, might even break up this other Land Rover. I have another wreck. Well, we didn't wreck the wheels. The wheels from the Land Rover are actually on a Hassenpfeffer. Hassenpfeffer actually has the wheels to this Land Rover. But that was kind of a fun little adventure. And, oh, we got more. Fucking nerds. We'll do an unboxing on those whenever they come in. Alright folks, well, we're off to the races. And we'll see you guys on the flip side and hopefully have some